racism in wrestling, in the streets, and in the military. It's hard for you sometimes, and maybe even Joe, even though Joe seems to have a little bit more understanding of what you go through sometimes because you don't have to put up with stuff like that. Now, when somebody tells you something directly, hey, I don't like you because you're black, the person that's being told to, that stays with him. And it may stay with him 10 years, it may stay with him 20 years, it may stay with him forever, especially somebody that was in Jim's position. I'm very saddened that it, because because he never said his name and now we know it's him. I'm very saddened because I respect Jim a lot and I expect better from him. But, you know, he's from the South, you know what I'm saying? He grew up in that era where, you know, that was kind of
Good morning,
not frowned upon.
When he came up under Bill.
Well, I grew up in Georgia.
Good morning, Sean.
70s, 80s, and 90s. Like, of course, I grew up with obviously racist people. To say that
No, they said to be back online.
Year 2025 is completely false.
Make your mind up.
Changed drastically. I know he's saying it, but it's like, if he's trying to make it
Stop
sound
me to
like
whoop somebody's ass.
for
I wonder who put
being
that.
insensitive to him having to.
I think he wanted you to say, hey, Jim, you shouldn't have said that. But at the same time,
But it knows that.
well, let me just say this.
Why even bother to
Let me just say
that?
this.
It's obvious.
But at the same time, you weren't there. You don't know if it happened. Now,
Right.
now he could tell you. So, what are you calling me a liar? You know, it's a
Right.
very sensitive issue. You know,
I would say
Devon's a very straight up guy. Very straight up guy. Okay, and I just feel sorry because I like Jim so much, but I wouldn't put it past him. You know.
right. Yeah, like I said, I'm not questioning whether it happened or not.
We
All I'm
start
saying
this
is
early. I need to lay down,
way too
wake
much
it up
time has gone by for me to care about this.
before
I'm
5
sorry.
o'clock.
What do you think,
There's
Joe?
Damn, feeling sleepy.
There's so many cases
No, you didn't
of
have- I didn't
racist things
sleep.
that people
I
said to
listened
people
to the radio.
over the course of history, way back.
To this
that
podcast
if you
instead,
want
we're
to
calling it
unearth
a
it,
disco
like the freaking
inferno.
like fossil fuels and shit, like
Had to get up and do my weekly shopping.
My thing is, I'm not interested
One
in
with the
doing
car.
it. Now, if somebody said this
I'm back
2
here
months
doing
ago,
this again.
that's a topic of discussion. Like, well, how could this person say something like that in the year 2025? But in the year 1995, 96, I'm not surprised that he said that. If he said that, and it's like, okay, but I'm not going to 25 years later like crucify the guy. You know, I'm not interested in doing that. Like time, you know.
You got the
Time's
answer
gone
for your
by.
scene.
Jim Ross still doesn't like. If Jim Ross actually doesn't like black people today, I would think that would probably be an issue. But I don't think that's the case. You know what I'm saying? He certainly wouldn't be working at AEW if that was the case. Because they're very forward, like, you know, progressive, you know, things. So it's like I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. It just seems like they kind of like decide to pile on me over this, and I'm like, just for not being interested to talk about it.
And now you're
Now we just
doubling
talked about
down,
it for,
so they're going to
now
get
we
you
just
again.
talked, so now we just talked about it for 10 minutes, so there you go.
Yeah.
So I'm not condoning what Jim said. My thing is, it's like we can go back years and years and years and find out shitty things that people said and litigate them today. I'm not interested in doing that. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not that type of guy.
So that's your statement. What's your statement, Joe?
It doesn't seem to me like Devon wanted to litigate anything. He had something that weighed on him, and he got it off his chest, and you know it became a story. I don't think
Yeah, I think they think that I said that I was forgiving Jim for saying it's like, no, I just don't want to. I'm not interested in that.
it's nobody's position to forgive JR anyway, or whatever, except Devon.
I would disagree with this. This is what I would say. I think people can change. Number one, over time.
For sure.
Okay?
I'm so
And I think he said if somebody said it's 20 years ago or 20 minutes ago, what doesn't matter?
Oh,
It does.
they discussing what happened, what Devon said recently about Jim Ross. I
Like in the day growing up.
don't know if you caught wind of
Over the
that.
course of time, I heard it less and less. And this is the thing. Because people just gradually stopped being, you know, as racist as they were. And then it started becoming more progressive. And here we are years later. It's 2025. We're not done yet, but it's considerably better than it was in the 90s. That's all I would say. So, any last comments on this for anybody?
Yeah, I just
No, I want better than
the fact
that.
that when somebody tells you something personally, you know, like I'll
He
give
didn't
an
tell me personally.
Like,
He was
Yeah,
just
it was cool.
somebody This was
Right.
brought up in art. Somebody asked us about it, and my thing was, I'm not
long
interested in talking about stuff 20-something years ago. That's basically that.
Long
that,
as he
that was what I
stayed
think about it.
beautiful.
I feel
I feel from what I-
Devon, you would have a more nuanced context conversation if Devon was on here. If an email or phone and ask about it, I'm not looking on Devon. I'm just saying I don't care to talk about this. You know? Go ahead.
Well, I've tried to say something 3 times and you've cut me off. So
I know. Yeah. Go ahead.
Like all the other press doing their
I
own
just think
thing.
I think that Devon thinks that you're defending Jim. That's what I'm getting at.
Or saying, kind of saying like, hey, get over it.
Talk me no one.
Right.
That kind of-
I would like,
No, that was years ago what he said.
like, if you're trying
No, I don't think he is.
more interested in it than he is.
If he was, he wouldn't be working for AEW.
On behalf of me and Joe, Disco apologizes for being a jerk.
All right. Are you ready to take your sports fandom to the next level? With the FanDuel Sportsbook app, with a low of 1.2 million, Joe, is that accurate? How come this is weird? Well, I'm in WrestleNomics. Why does WrestleNomics not give the quarters anymore? Is it the new data plus whatever? They don't. That's not part of the data anymore?
It must not be. I haven't seen it in a while either.
Well, what do they call it? The data plus, or what's the new way they do the ratings? What's it called? Data plus something? Maybe I missed that. Maybe they don't give quarters anymore on this stuff, so I don't know. So the Vision's in the building, in the ring. Heyman said Vision for War Games. Shouted at 5 victims be locked in the cage with the spirit tsunami, etc. Logan Paul said he had a lot to say, but then Jey Uso interrupted and said, we don't want to hear what you have to say. Jay said nobody wanted to hear what he had to say and asked Heyman if he had his mind right because they just dropped their whole crew on Raw. Heyman said he made a mistake by pissing off Logan Paul and said that when he created the bloodline, he did it so that Roman Reigns' family could eat. They wouldn't have to depend on him. First thing he talked to him was the numbers game always wins. They were out. No, Jimmy replied they did learn from him, and they weren't stupid to show up for Raw.
Let's go, boy.
Cody's piece of kid. He doesn't show up. The camera goes backstage, and Drew McIntyre is pulling him out of Cody's bust. Cody's bleeding. Which is kind of weird. I mean, I don't think the blood was necessary, especially since like AEW just went like a week and a half of doing blood and gore like all over their shows and stuff. So I don't know what the mindset was there.
Well, how else are you going to know that Drew beat him up?
Well, it's just dragging him out of the thing. It's like you need to be bleeding to get beat up.
Yeah, it's like an exclamation point.
I would have had him drag him out of the thing, yanking him by his top.
Oh.
What you thinking, something said?
Yeah, I have no problem with them bleeding. They don't bleed that much, and I don't think people care what AEW does, because they're not,
Right.
you know, they don't do gratuitous blood, right? So it always stands out. I like that it
means
wasn't,
something, yeah.
I also like that it wasn't a long, because the first segments usually can be like 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? This was good. Nothing bad, nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So listen to this real quick. So Susan about this guy. This is about quarter ratings. It's an AI answer, so kind of answers your question. It says 4 hours are still usually
look, my ass is...
The metric itself is often criticized as being outdated due to fundamental changes now being consumed media.
Stop
The
it.
traditional average quarter-hour measurement, while still used as less relevant, landscape dominated by streaming, time-shifted viewing, DVR, and second screen usage. In essence, while the data source system currently, the industry's focus has shifted away from 4 hours.
Yeah, but what if that's because the answer why we're not getting
Why not? Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, as a whole right now, apparently it's not as important as it was.
It really is.
Why WrestleNomics doesn't have it, I don't have an answer for that.
Right.
I thought you might find that interesting. Yeah.
They're not overly relevant because I used to get the minute by minutes, which are the more relevant numbers. You know, back at WrestleNomics. But the trend from one quarter to the next is, you know, it does still mean something, I think. So
I think it means something, yeah.
All right. So they showed Cody being tended to medics when he came back from break. And Ilya Dragunov versus J.D. McDonough, 16 minutes and 37 seconds. And Dragunov beat McDonough. There was no interference from McDonough's crew. I'm predicting that Conan thinks this was a good match. Did you watch the match from start to finish?
Yes, it did. I like axiom. It's not a art to me.
This is an axiom. This is Dragunov and McDonough.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Dragunov would make your top. Dragunov matches would make your top 5 of the week, though, like the second week.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what about this?
Well, these two
You're not.
fought a
You're
lot on the
chill.
East. I know that.
The NXT Europe or whatever, so, right? Sure they did, yeah.
Yeah, same ones from Russia. But you know, you got two good workhorses. You know, hard-hitting match. Dragunov was bleeding a little. Must have been hard for him.
Right.
And McDonough's chest was all red from the chops.
Right.
You know, the new generation loves that. I thought it was a really good match.
So Alexa dragged Charlotte into a room with Rhea, and she was kind of reluctant, but they said they're going to have a chat. So they said
But it was
Go
more,
ahead.
was it more backstage or in a room?
What do you mean? You know, the
Yeah.
backstage, and they brought her into a room,
Yeah, okay.
and Charlotte was like, "What are you doing here?" Because Rhea was in the room, and she said, "You guys need to talk."
Right.
It's
They
still
left,
good.
okay.
I'm still.
So then we go to Nick Aldis, and the medics were checking on Cody. They went to the division and told them that Drew was still banned from SmackDown. Heyman said he was outside, asked him to leave because he respects the suspension that Aldis levied on him. And Aldis said, the only reason they're allowed in the building is because Bronson Reed is the last time his now tournament match against Carmelo Hayes. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Whatever. But so backstage, our boy Ilya ran into Tama Tonga, who keeps creeping up on him here, so they're going to have a match. But then Ciampa walked up and told him he was lucky because if he didn't have a tag match, he had his gold. Dragunov said it wasn't lucky, called Ciampa a jackass, so he dismisses Ciampa again. So I think that's good. That I think, you know what actually they're doing here is they're making Ilya a little bit more interesting rather than just doing these challenges because there's a storyline development here with him and Ciampa. What do you think about that?
Well, it seems like a three-way thing. Tama Tonga, yeah, Tama Tonga starting, Ciampa and Ilya, and they're guys that they like, and you know they want to do something relevant with them.
Right. I'm wondering, the thing is here too, Tama Tonga's gotten in his face twice.
Right.
Ciampa wants to fight him. I still just very confused about this, like, why this has to be like under the open challenge format, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Because if it's an open challenge, Tama Tonga's challenging him, Ciampa's challenging him, and he's not wrestling either of the guys, he keeps wrestling other people to challenge. I think they should go into detail. Like that,
Guess it's gonna be the three of us.
Get the shot at it. Like, he's giving an open challenge. I don't know. I think Tama Tonga is going to end up with the belt out of all this because they foreshadowed that with the solo stuff, saying he needs gold. Remember they've been doing those vignettes since he needs gold, stuff, whatever. So Bronson Reed versus Carmelo Hayes, chicanery. Logan and the guy, the boys show up. Cody shows up after he got beat up. And he gets to Reed outside, gives him crossroads, throws him in the ring. And Carmelo Hayes eats the count, and Bronson Reed doesn't. Carmelo Hayes gets the win. And afterwards, Cody grabbed the mic and had a really good fiery promo. The Bronson Reed might be the best out of all of them, but he won't figure it out. So he's looking up at the lights, and he told Braun that historically speaking, the Steiner is never better than the ropes. Cody then called out Lesnar and said he was the last to beat him, and he did it twice, and addressed Heyman until they keep building up and he would knock him down.
I don't like it.
You didn't like it?
No. You know what this looks like to me?
What?
Instead of giving Hayes a win, you got Cody sneaking out there with the crossroads, and he takes the mic again. That was like a Hogan-esque Triple H. Oh, well, what if I hit him with my move first, and then you get the win? It looks sneaky to me, like Cody had to get in there a little bit. If Carmelo was...
They're protecting a guy that's on top, and they're giving the rub to Carmelo. Right. In a few years, he won't need the rub, but he needs it. I thought this was well done. I thought the Cody promo, which was short, was very, very good.
Right.
Okay? And that might even make the top 5. This was your typical big man, little man match. Ozilla, okay, which is his name. Really scored well for him. They had a really good dynamic that was logical. I ended up getting into the match, and then the finish is what it was. Rhodes helped him, got the rub, and he beat a top guy. So they're pushing Carmelo. You know, they've already pushed Bronson. You know, a year ago he was a mid-card. I look at him, you know what I'm saying? So I think good booking, Cody Hogan.
So Julia and Kiana James pursued Chelsea Green, but she hit her closet. And James told out the fire and wanted a rematch, and Green left the closet with the post to win into Jake Parker, who laughed her to praise being the greatest women's champion. And rather than respond, Chelsea just failed. So just kind of comedic still doing Chelsea. So.
Yeah.
Sammy was with his crew of mid-partners backstage, and they were with the other teams. All the international coalition spoke about being brothers in arms and NXT are going down on SmackDown next week in the Survivor Series elimination match. We fired everybody up for that big match next week, the Survivor Series elimination. We signed it as the Survivor Series elimination.
Not really.
DIY wrestle Praxis, and the new DIY was going to win because they're pushing this shop and stuff. And Praxi and Muff kind of these are all the mid-card tag guys that have been involved with it. After the match, Gargano. Oh, there's a good finish. I don't know if people complain about the finish, because they very rarely do this. Candice LeRae stole the match from Maximum. And he got pulled up by Gargano. So it's, you know, it's way to protect him, I guess. And if they're going to celebrate holding the boss. So, what did you think of this match?
Well, it kind of keeps their feud alive, right? You know, Fraxium is like DIY. You can put him in the ring with anybody. He's going to have a good match. Problem is, none of these guys really have charisma. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm going to make a point here about Fraxium. They work so fast.
Right.
It's like, dude, slow down and work the crowd. You know, it's like, exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have any charisma, right? They're just, like, their style is their charisma, their speed, they're all over the, you know, it's like, I don't know. Jesus.
Let's wait and see. I don't really think too much about them.
Right. That's Penta versus Finn. And
that was the remaining enemy I seen.
Penta avoided it. He like handle driver and
okay.
delivered a destroyer and covered him for the win. The Mexican destroyer. And after the match, Penta celebrated its victory. Hey, here's the victory.
Also, that's the Penta driver.
Right. Oh, they call it the Penta driver?
Yeah.
So the commentary team acknowledged the injury to Sheamus. And Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce were having a meeting to determine his challenger. It was implied that LA Knight wouldn't find out until the match happens. What did you think about Penta versus Finn Balor?
Good match, you know. They're finally giving. It's weird how they're booking Penta, you know, because you think, okay, maybe they're going to book him to win this and finally do something with him, but he may lose. You know, his first match. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's out now.
Well, we'll talk about that.
He was super over. You know, Penta was super over. Finn did a good job of getting heat.
So there was a pre-tape from Solo and the MFCC Clutch standing his team with Solo promised he would put Sammy Ray to flip himself. It's like what they were showing. So like the other thing of this is there wasn't like a lot of long-term storylines in this shit and everything, and they knew the Survivor Series is coming up. And they just pigeonholed a bunch of like hot shot and a bunch of shit to get a whole bunch of groups together to fight each other in a short period of time. Is what this comes across as. It's like the stuff is very generic. You know? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. So Charlotte lets Nino and Rhea make a ring and Rhea's hope when the crowd got loud.
Hey, Courtney, my beautiful Courtney.
The Warriors found out they were more unified than they thought of, money, and that was a real problem for them. She addressed her the war with the right people. Rhea formed to trust with Leo, Charlotte, and Alexa. And then Rhea addressed this person and introduced her fifth member, AJ Lee. And AJ Lee made an entrance for Nia Lash to the war and shoved everyone else from behind. And AJ noticed and made her way to the ring and got blindsided by Becky Lynch. As she got close, and the heel team took control and beat down the baby faces. And Becky held Rhea's feet near the ropes to allow Nia to land the Annihilator. And then Lynch then entered the ring and shook hands with Asuka to become the fifth member of the team. Heels over strong at the end. Right. Well, think about how little actually happened on the show. And this is the problem I found with when you have tournaments and stuff like that. Is this these long matches. Wins the advanced tournament together. Oh, it took like 10 minutes to go over the show. Well, Laura, our review is like 20, 25 minutes of this, right?
Sometimes.
And we didn't miss anything.
It was peaceful.
And
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I wasn't so down on it. I liked the opening segment, you know, with the Drew and Cody and Jimmy and all that. I like that. I know you don't like matches, but I thought every match was good.
Hey, Jessica.
Pentagon was
Good
good.
to see you again. Hope the same for all of you as well.
So I like the ending with AJ Lee. You know, was a surprise, you know, and how it ended. I wasn't as down as you. I thought it was good, especially since SmackDown hasn't been that good lately.
No, I thought it was good too. I thought it flowed me. You know, before I liked the review before I knew it, the show was over. So that's a good thing. It wasn't like pulling teeth. You know?
Especially remember Joe when it was 3 hours long?
Yeah, that's too much.
That's coming up again in about 6 weeks too. You hear that?
You think go see what? Let's see. Hold up. I gotta go to my phone and read that comment. Oh, got me.
I'll just say this. I'm just saying this stuff is that. If I ask you this,
I'm back up, fool.
put on SmackDown. What would be the first thing out of your mouth?
AJ Lee. Yes, sorry.
Right, go ahead. That's what I was.
Yeah, AJ Lee joined me at the babyface team, and Becky joined the heel team. Now we got our Team Survivor Series, and like you said, it goes over strong. They got AJ and the team got their asses beat.
I'm gonna read that comment again. Hold up. Let me finish this motherfucker on.
Somebody attacked Cody. You know, they gave the rub to Carmelo. You know, that was an upset.
Penta got a win.
Yeah. So I didn't.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Like
Keep
Joe
on
said
talking.
at the beginning,
I just couldn't read that entire comment because it doesn't go through on here.
A quick break to talk about something super important in today's digital world. Keeping your online life secure. That's where our friends at NordVPN come in. And let me tell you, they've got your back. If you're browsing, streaming, maybe even working from a coffee
Where's the opener to this thing?
connection. With NordVPN, you get top-notch encryption that shields your data from hackers, trackers, and prying on. It's like having a digital fortress in your
let me skip this.
Will be available.
They got Survivor Series and stuff. So Roman comes in, opens Raw, and he's the full fan acknowledging and Cody's using plays.
Oh, I'm about to answer your comment as soon as I see it.
Stared at him. Cody had tasted what he wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I went house hopping, so I saw family members and friends, so yeah.
Whereas this is the war. And Cody asked what's in it for Reigns. And Reigns says he's been in the war that Cody was just joined. He doesn't like Cody, doesn't like him, and they don't know each other well, but Roman said neither one of them plays around when it comes to family. He said half the team is his family.
You don't.
He's been invested in the Usos for a long time and see that.
You don't what?
The street guy wants to say is welcome to my team, Cody said, before off his handshake. Reigns did not accept the handshake, and then Punk carries that piece. And then Reigns at the Punk will ask, it's great to be alive, and some guys want to have a city or what? Punk with the Rage and Rose said, OKC, acknowledge us. And then we Punk with it, then it's great to be alive, and those Punk first. Right. Punk said he was happy that Cody had Roman's word. Punk said he didn't need Roman's word because he saved his life last year.
It's all right. You can keep talking to me. We gonna win this one, babe.
And Punk took issue with Cody calling his
Best believe it. Baby, you gonna go on a date.
Yeah. So Roman Reigns and Punk really lied 2 minutes later. Punk quickly Cody came to his team, and he had to raise a handshake. And Punk told him to slide about by Cody. He could get his quarterback to fight, and he was the champion of the Raw. Roman said they might as well take them out and have the big test. And Reigns said he doesn't like Cody Rhodes, Punk said he hates the vision, Paul Heyman told him he hates that, because being honest here, that title would so much better on my shoulders than he said before leaving the ring. The podcast was talking to him or Cody. And then also,
Yes, they are.
that's for you to figure it out.
Zombies with cars and planes.
Taking this opening segment.
Good segment, good star power. That's how we start the show. I like when what's this guy's name? When Roman said that I've been in this war. You're just now joining to Punk. And then I like at the end, great touch. He goes, that title will look so much better on my shoulder. Not saying which one.
So backstage, Paul said Drew is still technically suspended, so the only reason McIntyre is allowed in the arena, and he selected him for the advantage match. Why suspend him to begin with? That's what they're playing it like this kind of stuff. Heyman said if McIntyre left the ring, said we were the wrong person to out of the building. Logan assumed that Brock would team with McIntyre. Heyman told Logan that Lesnar was mad about what happened with Reigns last week, and Heyman told Logan that Lesnar's name shouldn't come out of his mouth. And Logan said, "Oh, so Brock's name should not come out of my mouth." And Heyman just sat there upset. Logan's being kind of a prick in this segment here, so I thought this was funny, to be honest with you. What'd you think of this? Oh, actually, Heyman asked Logan for a serious tweet. Logan said it was a joke, and assumed that Breaker Reed would team with McIntyre in the Advantage match, and Heyman indicated Logan would team with them. And Logan told Heyman that was a wise wisdom.
Just storyline progression, nothing big.
So they're at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, which is where Oklahoma City, the world champion, Oklahoma City Thunder Club. And the building's at 18,000 seat capacity. And it was blocked off for 9,000 people.
Damn!
Exactly drawn the amount of fans that they were like that.
Gotta blew myself up right there.
Kind of obvious. What do you think about that?
Well, let me make a statement on that.
Here's your statement.
You can't be hot forever, correct? You can't keep charging those prices and think that you're going to sell out.
So Gunther versus Carmelo Hayes.
It's the holidays. That extra money they have money to go through. Stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's what you said, then. Now watching my team, Brook Jazz.
That's a good point. That's a good point. If I get a few things.
Gunther and Carmelo. They went 17 minutes. Okay? Hayes hit the 2 in here.
Oh, wow.
Dude, Gunther hasn't worked in a while.
Y'all looking good.
Okay. And the reaction after this match was really good, because even though he won, he looked completely exhausted and blown up, which is a good way for Carmelo taking him to the limit, which is a good run for Carmelo. But I'm just wondering, I think Gunther for his shoot got blown up out there because he hasn't worked in a while. That's 17 minutes with that kid. He's kind of all over the place. He's that's too long. I mean, how many?
I love you too, Courtney.
But like London, not a lot, right?
I think so, a lot.
Not really. 17? Not 17.
What do you think, Joe?
12 to 15 was like long.
Yeah. 8 to 12 for guys.
Oh, no, we didn't have
they like
16.
Conan versus Disco is probably going to be 12.
2 seconds was like 12 to 15. 17's long. I mean, if we had 17 minutes, Jesus Christ, I don't know.
That's Benoit versus Jarrett.
Right. What'd you think of this match?
Well, again, they're trying to make Carmelo look good. Gunther really made him look good. It was a really good match. Did
got those cars
finishes.
Clean.
And at the end, when everybody knew Gunther was going to win, Carmelo did some false finishes that looked so good that people...
Well, by PlayStation 4 or 5, they created an account.
Did a really good job of putting this
Buy this game,
And what did you think about the sell? Was he selling stuff?
and then
Really,
we can go from there, huh?
Say that again?
Do you think he was selling the exhaustion to put Carmelo over, or was he shooting exhausted after that?
I can't tell. I would think he's in shape.
Yeah, he is in shape, but it's like, bro, 17 minutes, we haven't worked in a while? That's a little freaking time.
Maybe he was tired, DI, but maybe he also he added to it.
Yeah,
that's a little bit more exhausted for this kid, Could be average.
It seems like you guys had got together before the podcast started. Team up against all my narratives.
They're just wrong as usual.
Good job.
Concerted. I think it's a.
First of all, you gotta get this motherfucker to ever answer the phone. Even if you leave a message on the answering machine, which is so unprofessional, and if your friend is calling you, you should at least. I've left messages, he doesn't call back. So first of all,
thanks, Di.
Try to get this motherfucker to ever answer the goddamn phone.
So there's no coordination because it's hard to get
Zero
them together.
coordination.
You can't even get them together to coordinate his back.
Right. What's he doing that he can't call back? What's he doing? What's the truth, Joe?
No, you're.
I think he's making.
I can't argue against her.
Joe, let's tell him he's making it up to you guys when you end up there.
I can't say that hasn't been the case, but normally it's I'm either asleep or I have my headphones on and editing. I'm not looking at things, you know. But he's right.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, not me, Raven. What if Raven tries to get a hold of you? Ask
Raven. I'll ask him.
Well, it'll show you how to tell you everything you need to know.
You should get better at that. And
the instructions tell you everything you need to know. You don't really need a camera.
Fix it.
Yeah, but I temporarily
years, I doubt it.
I'll get
You can link it to your YouTube or Twitch or whatever. Link that, your PSN account and your YouTube account together there. It'll show you what to do, huh?
Think about it.
So backstage, Punk, Cody, and Roman were talking about whether Punk Blue Rings. The Uso showed up and kind of like tried to do business here, and so the trio was focused on everything but the most important thing. And so he and Jay are on the same page, but they are not. The Usos indicate that they would take the advantage match and they would fix it. And Reigns asked who Steven is and could Punk, Cody, and Punk to fix it because I think he wanted to poke everybody and keep the match themselves. So, and he commented this whatever it is.
Yeah, that was what it is. Storyline progression, yeah.
Dominic comes out, and Dom stood in the ring and spoke about how he beat John Cena to be the greatest spear of all time.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I looked at the weather report. Now, that's at night. It shows up at like 4 in the afternoon, right?
Not sure.
It's outside. It's 49 degrees. People in California think that's the word they would use for that is crazy. Dude, these girls at work, when they get like the slightest bit chilly outside, like 55 degrees, all these SoCal and West girls, they're going like, oh my god, it's freezing. They're coming like bundled up, like in coats and shit. Are you people serious? I go, Jesus Christ. I don't know, but that's what we call a weenie shrinker.
Yeah.
In San Diego this week with 49 degrees coming. Does that come, you consider 49 degrees chilly?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, Echo Park, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Yep, you're exactly right. Well, pre-show start time.
Yeah, I'm not technology smart as myself because shit, I want to make movies on and put it on here, so yeah. Sir, it's easy. We just had to do that by yourself, eh?
Yeah, the performers will be good, right? Because the lights and the lighting and everything will be good. Yeah.
Because I do write things. I wrote something years ago, and I want to bring the story back and revise it, dude.
We very rarely worked outside. Like, very rare occasions.
Road Wild and maybe a beach show.
Well, there are like 2 or 3 other. I can't believe
The club, the spring break at the club.
I don't ever recall working in an atmosphere outside of it where it was cold. Yeah,
What about that?
No, because when we would go to the village in the summer,
right? Spring break.
Oh, it's March or April. Yes.
when I don't know when the motorcycle thing was, but it was always hot.
Thank you, babe.
It's the summer, you know. So
Yeah.
Is that July or August?
So Dom comes out, and if Dom said Cena wasn't here, we couldn't blame him. I wanted to come to this dump. So his music played, the fans popped, and then a little person, a midget. If we use the word midget, we gotta use little person. We get the midget. Dwarf, midget, little person. And the version of Stu the cameraman, of midget Stu the cameraman was filmed. And the real Stu was filming them, and Dom laughed. The little Cena ran the ringside and tried to fill the diamond in the ring. Got in the ring and the Dom said, "Don't interrupt me, John. I should drop where you're standing. You know what? I'm going to save my energy and let you walk away, but you have no idea what's going through Survivor Series." Little Cena said it was a fine speech coming from the greatest spirit of all time, but Dom whispered to Little Cena's ear to stick to the plan. Little Cena said that if Dom would fight him in front of the good people in OKC, that if Dom wanted some of Survivor Series, he'd come get some. Champ is here, the Little Cena yelled. The Dom booted the Little Cena, knocked him over, and gave him a 5-0 shuffle. Eric the Dom is making shoot with Little Cena. Dom placed Little Cena against the ropes, hit him with a 619 and went up and frog splashed him. Then Ray came in, causing Dom to pound him.
Oh, the old school shit. So you know about my old co-host from the podcast. Oh, thank you, Courtney. I'll let the guys know about that. I still talk to him to this day. I know one guy would be ecstatic to meet you.
don't know. The booking of this was very bizarre. The way it was formatted.
That was ECW booking right there. One thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Yeah.
Old school angle that maybe like a bunch of new kids haven't seen this an angle like this before, but it's been done repeatedly in the past. I wasn't laughing. I didn't think it was really that.
Get the fuck away from me!
To go back to the old angle, like, you know, and stuff. And I thought it was just weird, like, Dom came out just random, like, the second was over, they transitioned into this next segment. And it was weird.
Did you see this, Joe?
I did, yeah.
What do you think?
Kept my attention. The Dom is always.
Yeah, thank you very much. I came a long way with all this.
I think even like Disco said.
You seen my ranting videos from like 2012 and 2013.
It's a little staining. It's a little, I don't know, that was good enough for me. But you know, with Ray coming out in the match following, yeah, I liked it. I didn't leave my chair.
You should watch the one with Trolls, the one I had something to say about Trolls, or people had disagreements with it. The one from 2011, it. That shit was too funny.
In my opinion. Because there was no heat on the midget, like, you know, like this wasn't, when Dom was beating up the midget, it didn't really come across as heat, to me. Did you agree?
No. The thing is like the first few times I saw it, it was original, creative, and funny.
Right.
And then the next 10 to 15 times I've seen it, it hasn't been, right? Including here. Right. I would have had the midget, like Dominic looking at the people and making fun of the little guy, and he drop kicks Dom to the fucking turnbuckle. Dom tries to get him, he goes under his legs, he drop kicks him again, the place goes wild, and then fucking Dom takes his head off with a kick or something, starts getting heat on him, right? And then Ray, and I will say this, Ray got a humongous pop, and it leads me to believe that since Ray's from San Diego, obviously, that he will have something to do in Dominic's match in Survivor Series.
You know what? Remember how we talked about what they should do in situations like this? This would have been a perfect, like you said, that this would have been a perfect opportunity for my idea. The Dom starts picking on the midget, and the midget pulls out the what's the spray? This tear gas. The spray he sprayed in somebody's face.
Like mace.
I got it with mace. Mace him in the face, and then then the little guys put the fruit to Dom, cover his eyes, telling.
Yes, it is.
JD gives up the heat on the midget, and Ray comes and makes a save, and like, and then we get the thing. That would have been a better way to go with the segment, you know?
Yeah, keep on watching the classic ish, my baby.
I bet you, if I was Steph with me and I brought up that idea, I bet you they would have used that idea. Instead of the way they did it.
Man, those were the best days of YouTube.
Like, which idea would you rather use? The
lines.
Yeah, yours.
Yes.
Hey, did you see, I know you finished season 1 of Straight Rambling, because only had 5 episodes. But season 2, that was off the chain. That's our best season.
So 1 and 2.
Yeah. Go ahead and check out the videos.
No matter what they do, whether it's heat or like idiots out there, they get the same reaction all the time. They don't really reason to hear about it, you know? What you think of this?
I just thought the match was too quick, and then they had like a commercial where we taken in the middle of it.
Right.
There was no real heat. Mysterio's comeback seemed kind of rushed. It was just a quick match that meant nothing, I thought.
Do you think there was no heat because the result really wasn't in doubt?
Well, you know what they needed here to spice this up? Ray should have gotten him the mic instead of Homo got top and everything before they fought. You know what I'm saying?
That too, and another thing, I would have had Dom in the finish, you know?
Yeah, something right.
Like after he won, especially if they're going to do something Survivor Series, right?
Yeah,
I would have had it laying his dad. That lane.
I thought this was the least creative way they could have done the way that they had to start off.
Yeah, I thought those 2 segments were rushed.
Going in on their asses.
Resonate.
Not only didn't it resonate,
get your asses over here.
Right.
They should have Ray out on Saturday for Survivor Series. Put him in the front row, or maybe on commentary for Cena versus Donington.
There was nothing in that segment that made me want to see John Cena win the title, win the beat down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did this, like, he wasn't there. Midget really wasn't that over. I don't know. So, Raquel claimed that Adam Pearce, the Nikki Bella interfered in a title match. Now she's getting a title. Here's a great one.
Okay.
She would be in the mix for another title shot.
There you go.
Xavier Grayson Waller showed up and complained about not getting a title shot. Pearce had to shut up. And AJ and Dragon Lee are fighting champions and want to put the title in the line next week. That is kind of confusing.
Oh, this son of a bitch got in my way.
For some inexplicable reason, Waller pulled out a blonde wig and put on Pearson's.
Oh, they came from out of nowhere from the other side.
I'm sorry, but
No, I think I'm gonna take cover in there from now on out.
They came up with the comedy spot for this week. Remember how come you passing up the guy waiting by the curtain? Dude,
stay to the people that haven't heard.
Oh, how many did I hit? Oh, I only hit one motherfucker. Whatever.
To see the fans' reaction to the comedy, and it's like, the WWE has been religious about doing very bad comedy, and like when the crowd doesn't clap, with the writer kind of goes very kind of walks off and tries to.
I'll give you an example. They had like a online storyline 20 years ago. And Jericho and Christian and the Dudleys were feuding on Raw. So the Dudleys managed to break into Jericho and Christian's locker room while they weren't there. And they're going through their stuff and they're finding this and that. And then the big payoff was they reached in the Christian's bag and they found, you'll never believe it, a giant jar of ass cream. It says on it, ass cream on the jar, and Christian's fuming because, they've exposed my secret. I have ass cream in my bag. Is that pretty great? I think that writer was watching and snickering.
Dude, it's like, I don't know, maybe we were just way funnier than people of this generation, you know? Maybe there's just not a lot of funny guys.
These are the comedians, what's that comedy?
I don't know. Alright, so Becky Lynch goes out to film with her team. Lynch said she's been legally advised not to talk about the loss of matches in 2 levels. Spoke about the strength of the team she is sitting. She said she won most of her matches out there she had a good for. But she said she still stays life and expected to be
Come on, light them some bitches up.
They call Nia Jax breaking her nose. They said she didn't have to wear a shield afterward like Rhea Ripley. But Lynch told Legend that she would take her under her wing and make her star just as she did for her other teammates. So then Rhea actually...
Well, I didn't see it doing on my end.
But Becky was very good on the mic here.
I didn't see it on my end.
Yeah.
Maybe something wrong with your connection, buddy.
And AJ made an entrance to at least skip to the ring. They all joined their opponents inside the ring, and Lee said it's the only one that pull Lynch's face off. Lucky for you, therapy works. It's selling the therapy to face. But Lee said Lynch's comments were set in fear.
Oh, good.
She said she doesn't have to break the bark, mimic a bark like an angry chihuahua. Bites. And Lee said Lynch made a mistake of locking herself in a cage with her, and Lee said she knows she's not the only one who wants to knock Lynch off the pedestal, and they handed the mic to Rhea. The Ripper slammed the microphone on Nia's head and started brawling, and they cleared the heels of the ring, and Legend and Jax picked up for a punch spot with Flair, and then the baby faces knocked him over the floor, and Sky hit a moonsault onto Oscar Kane and Jackson's Legend. And then
Keep on taking them out, y'all. Keep taking them out.
I guess it's worked. You know, the Becky's Michaels is good, and AJ's Michaels is really good too. So it's got a good reaction from the crowd. What do you think?
They say I'm in first place.
Just came off the biggest star. She was great on the microphone, buried everybody, made it all about her. Right? You know, they're still married to the AJ Lynch with therapy, but I bet you half or more than half of the people in the audience have had either therapy or mental breakdowns or have mental issues. So they all right. Like the other day, I was reading that Dak Prescott had he asked the day off for mental health, right? And I'm thinking,
really?
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, you're rich, you're the king of Texas, you're one of the top quarterbacks, you probably have nice mansion, cars, don't have to worry about anything, but at the same time, I also think of, because I know a lot of stars in other, not just wrestling, but also wrestling, where you have hangers-on, family members asking for money, asking for tickets, you know, family members asking for work, you know, so it can get on you. But I just, you know, as we've always said, this generation and the one before were very sensitive and very like soft.
Do you think Joe needs therapy?
Yeah, he needs a lobotomy or something to figure out. He comes with a lot of baggage.
Brain transplant. Well, that's because he's been doing the. Well, Raven has done therapy.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's fixed now.
Joe, he what?
It fixed Raven. It allowed him to accept his life as it occurred. He was very let down by his career. The therapist convinced him, no, you did great. You are very talented.
I don't want to laugh at Reagan's therapy, but yeah. So Penta versus Solo, and we saw what happened here.
When I think of therapy, bro, I always think like, really, you need somebody to like put you over and tell you that, hey, you're great and all
We got 2 more left.
You should tell it to yourself, and you should just be honest, you know. But some people are stronger than others.
There's a lot of stuff that you don't need to go see like a therapist when there's so much text out there, like books from very influential people that people read, like, wow, this changed me. You know what I'm saying? Therapy costs a fortune. A book doesn't cost that much. You can almost like get the same thing out.
I remember listening to Howard Stern, and they were talking about therapy. We got to get Artie in therapy. And Howard went every day, like 2 hours a day. It's like, whoa. Like, okay, you go to your therapist once a week to get some things off your chest. Like, right. 2 hours a day, every day. Then what you have?
You can't go to somebody you trust that keeps it real and have them talk to you and tell them your problems and then keep it real with you and then tell them what's wrong with you instead of paying some stranger. I just would never go to therapy. I don't think you would. Joe might, but I wouldn't. I don't need it, bro.
I just go upstairs.
I fix my own shit.
Like those, you're being a pussy.
Yeah. But Penta versus Solo, and we're going to end up with Penta in therapy for his shoulder. Because this was an ill-advised move. Let me tell you why. Because Solo was stopping shoulder, and I think Penta didn't really see this through, thinking that Solo would be able to take a hold of the wonderful, like Kaiser would. He's more athletic and flip up, like, and it was just, Penta could not go through and make a flip bump for this, so Penta landed on his shoulder, wrapped up the shoulder. The trainers came out, they went to break when they came back, instead of continuing, Penta lost the match before rest back.
My assessment is, Mustafa Sikoa is stocky and strong, and it's not really a hard move to do, if you know how to do it. But I don't think Solo was trained in lucha and doesn't know how to base high flyers for that move, and therefore Price Pentagon did.
Come on, you bastards. Fight me.
You literally have to Penta. And Phoenix and those guys, making sure they wrestle guys with bases if they want to do this stuff. Yeah. Correct?
Yeah.
So it's like, so I think what it was. What is that? What do you got the move? Yeah, see, he just, he can't. You need to take a front flip bump. And you see, he's jumping off his right foot. What Solo's doing, so you're not going to get the flip idea. I don't know. It's very, like I said, the guy doesn't have a lot of experience taking that move, and that can happen. You don't have the
time. He dropped it, and you should have held on to it.
Yeah, it's just, bro, it's like you can't
he's not trained, bro. He's not trained in it. I'm sure he feels bad about it, too.
The luchador is like in training. Like, how many of those do you think you do in training? 1,000? It's like, I don't know, one coach with the Penta's going to be out for 4-6 weeks.
Back in time for one.
Yeah, but then actually, it was funny that they went back to this. They showed footage of John Cena making an early return for major surgery in 2008 Royal Rumble. So maybe that was awesome. It's supposed to inspire Penta to get better quickly. What do you think? So Adam Pearce told him actually to play the role and called about taking the title off of him maybe ever been before. That makes sense, okay? She spoke about being a champion that people can respect and chance she's going to call Natalia. Pearce said he loved it. Shook her hand. But Ivy Lyle coached Korean told her the title is hers. After 9 walked away, locked in thrills on their telephone for free. The police was talking smack on Pearson phone asking if there was a problem. After they left, Pearson decreed she called Natalia now. And she started to call Natalia. And so this is what, you know, I just think, you know how we talk about this, Conan? Like, when, what's her name wins the belt, and the first challenger is somebody below her on the card. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I don't know.
I just have no interest in them. I forgot Ivy now was even there. You know.
Good job, Sherry.
Didn't make an impression on me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me give you this too. So, you know, Maxine Dupree just got off a program that went like 4 to 5 weeks with Becky,
right?
Who was super.
I don't care who gets more or less.
And now she beat her.
I'm looking forward to winning this thing.
It's like she's taking a step back from like where she was in the card to like in her mind, like what she was like elevating Ivy Nile. Like I don't know, man. It's like this. I hate that. If you're gonna give somebody the belt, it's like, okay, you're ready to work with the top,
Come on.
the people above you in the card. We're giving you.
Let's end this shit.
It's like they always working with the mid cards all the time. It's like I don't know. That's fixable too.
Okay.
That's just a mindset that
That's understood.
It's like you're permeated, you're creative, and man, all companies like that's how you're supposed to do it. Or something. I mean, I completely disagree. Sonny Logan and Drew against Jimmy and Jay in the War Games Advantage match. It's kind of funny to do, like, you know, these two, them and AEW are kind of doing similar angles to get to their, like, you know, to get to where they're going. Like, so they have, when they do AEW, they'll have those matches to determine who's the first to be gone with bottom of whatever. How do they do that always? This is the last entrance. Like, yeah, so. There's a good discussion between Jay and Logan, but if Jay's Super Kick McIntyre and Braun Breaker and the Bleed came out, then Punk and Cody right now, then Logan and Jimmy and that's really get the free count.
Yeah, good.
Then they
welcome to this thing's Armageddon.
And the fans chanted OTC, and then Logan came out. They hit Breaker ring with Superman punches. And
get it at the end, we gonna win.
And then the credits were shown. And then Broxley was played. He slipped on the stage when he was doing his entrance, but immediately rolled through and got back up like it was, and it didn't phase it at all. Right. And they got up they got on the apron again, and they hit the ring, and they did the old school Georgia Championship Wrestling, Florida Championship Wrestling finish back in the day where they were fighting, and they did that already. What do you think about the old school angle at the end of this is the, you know, the show was a bunch of old school angles. You know? Like if you think about it, what do you think of this, Conan?
It wasn't as good as last week's show, because last week's show was excellent. But I still enjoyed it because all the talent that's going to be in the Survivor Series and the War Game and all that, they were featured. Except for, I don't know why, not that I'm missing it, Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella. But everybody else was, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The only there was that Toronto. Right?
Got him! And we win this motherfucker!
Yeah, but it was nothing. No. You know, this is your go-home show. You got to really hype it up.
Yeah!
We introduced it to the SmackDown.
Yeah. Luther and Hayes had a great match. Mm-hmm. And I liked the ending. I loved when...
It was just the three of us were all we needed. Now the tag room will loose in.
You know, the one thing the show that they have is that this is a point in their creative arc where they're heading into WrestleMania season, and they have all the major players in the War Games Advantage match to tell you these guys are our top guys. That's what they've done. They've got all their top guys together, and whatever comes out of this, I'm assuming something's going to come out of the babyface side with Roman, Punk, and Cody. And
come on,
two of those guys are going to be probably fighting in WrestleMania.
We know about the Super Yets, damn it.
So I don't
let's get on with the shit.
Could happen. That's it's a viable theory.
So that's been our Raw review.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
Did you see Vince did
World Cup
today?
Yeah, we'll talk
No,
about
I
it. Get
do
the stuff
something
ready for
else.
tomorrow.
I had them, but I figured we didn't have the time yet.
One more loose end, then I'm ending it.
I haven't seen them all. I want to.
Gonna listen to about 5
I saw
minutes.
you, man. You had a good showing on there.
Right, it seems like it.
Yeah. What else was I going to tell you here? Oh, Joe. Okay, before we do the football here, don't let that.
Maybe on Sunday I'll try.
Okay, you ready to hit the top 5 while he's looking for it?
We got to have the top 5. You got to AEW.
Yeah, after AEW,
Right.
right?
Oh, okay. Oh, you already have 5.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, just give us your interim 5 before we see AEW.
Okay.
Because AEW
So-
doesn't really get in the top 5.
Is this Ilya versus McDonough?
Okay.
Cody Rhodes promo.
Okay.
That's number 4, tied with Gunther and Carmelo.
Okay.
Punk Rhodes Roman promo on Raw.
Okay.
I'll lose
The
my
Becky
bulletproof
promo.
vest, damn it.
Okay.
Do you remember last week where Soko almost tripped getting
I
into the
still
ring?
have it, because I wasn't
Okay,
touching
I
that.
love Lesnar wiping
Missing
out,
it.
and then when they
The
came,
last one.
Get the goal position. That's
Right.
huge. Yeah.
and then when they came
Yeah,
back,
just-
he pointed to the spot where he fell. Yeah, huge pop for that. Because you very rarely see it, and when it's a big star, it's funny.
Interesting. For all our listeners out there, it's time to talk about stepping up your grooming gear. The face shampoo products from Manscaped to the bathroom drawer. There's all. You can use my code.
All right.
All right.
See,
Play this message here that I sent you.
I don't think I want to see it.
Let's play it.
Like sports fan bases with the lowest IQ.
Raiders.
Yeah. Raiders. Number 2, only 80 IQ. Yeah.
Cheeseheads.
On the list.
The Bears.
No, that's a good one. Good guess. Come on the list. Chicago's on the list. But yeah, think dumb people.
Ohio. Cleveland.
Cleveland Browns.
okay.
The 82 IQ. Number 3.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's it. Dallas Cowboys. Number 4. Lowest fan base in the country. Lowest IQ. 83 IQ on average. The New York team.
The Jets.
No.
Giants.
No. Basketball.
Nets.
Nope.
Knicks.
Yes, Knicks. 84 IQ. Not bad. Not
Just
bad.
step
Lower. Won the Super Bowl last year.
The Dolphins. They're not on the list.
No.
Kansas City.
No way, dude. Not on the list.
Eagles.
Yes, Eagles. Number 1 for lowest IQ by, again, a pretty decent margin. 77. Guess the top 5 sports fan bases.
That's retarded.
Yes, the 75 is.
Oh, is it?
Okay, Cody,
Yeah.
what do you think? So this begs my question, Joe. You're an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucy.
Are you or aren't you?
I am. Oh, shit. Sorry.
So what do you
Okay,
think?
what was this based on, and who is the guy, and who?
I know, I'm
is the chick?
saying, where did this study come from, for God's sake?
It's a legitimate study. It's a study that was done
By who?
Are you
Where?
offended because they're calling you stupid, or people from Philadelphia stupid?
I'm offended.
Boom.
I question is
You
legitimate.
bagged right into it like a jackass.
Stupid fan base. No, I mean,
dude,
Oh, it's right there.
this is accurate. Philadelphia sports fans are the dumbest sports fans in the world. Okay, they boo their teams out of the building. Okay, which is
Their
not the
coach
smartest.
and their
you
players.
gotta perform.
It's not the smartest thing. Okay, if you're a fan, okay, if you're trying to get your team fired up to go, well, what does booing them and making them feel bad about themselves and be constantly, what does that do?
No, actually, I agree, and I get heated back when they would give Jimmy Rollins shit, and they would give McNabb, Ryan Howard.
Me-
I'm not a fan of that at all. So I'm with
What
them.
about the booing Santa Claus on Christmas?
That guy was a drunk. Okay, he was doing a poor job. We're just framed as the villain because of that. But that guy was a terrible Santa Claus.
Well, that's the Philadelphia Eagles sports fans are the dumbest sports fans in sports.
According to some
Official.
smoke.
So let's get to the NFL because we got to get the
How
show
come you
up
didn't-
before the game started. They too, because the relevant games tomorrow, big one in the morning. So last week in the NFL,
Freezing out.
that was a game on Thursday night because last Thursday the Texans, after Josh Allen on Sunday had gone off against Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
Soldiers.
touchdown, they shut him out. 2 interceptions and stacked it 8 times. The Texans defense now is their fangs are out. Yes, they're number 1 and they were all that defensive line massacred the Bills' offensive line in that game. That was it. That was a destruction. And it made the Bills look like it's going to be tough for them to get back to the Super Bowl. What'd you think about that game?
Well, they dominated.
Yeah,
And I think you could say Defensive Player of the Year. You know, Miles, right?
No, they got Miles Garrett. They got Daniel Hunter. They had like all these guys in the defensive line of studs. They're the best defensive line in football.
Yeah, you did.
But Miles Garrett is the best defensive lineman in football.
Right. My bad.
But collectively, their defensive line is like these guys are.
And she admit,
they were like,
cut you down the size.
I couldn't believe it because Velcro had jumped out to a lead, remember?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not only that, they forced 3 turnovers, you know, and then the whole game,
And your point
you
is,
know, that Houston defense just harassed Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You know, and they were rushing him into making, you know, bad plays.
Bad on you.
Let me see, what was the box score on him?
It was 24, 34, 250 yards with 2 interceptions.
Unless you could win.
Right, that's not a good game for him.
No, not He's a machine, you know, so.
And I think the thing that,
That's
you
it.
know, and Mills didn't have to look for 153. That's the backup quarterback. You know, do you know anything about C.J. Stroud? He'll be back?
Yeah, it's going to make this week.
All right. Yeah, because he got a concussion, right?
Yeah, he was up for 3 weeks.
It was
A little longer than usually it's 2.
So, right.
The Bears in one of the matchups that teams above 500 records beat the Steelers in a close game, 31-28. And Mason Rudolph was back. Quarterback in this looked all right, but the Bears are like, they're just very lucky. They're 8-3. They do not look like an 8-3 football team when they play. It's, you know, the games are all close. They're lucky. You know, Caleb makes some.
Oh, do something wrong with this tired.
Back, you know, he's getting it done, but it's like I don't know how they're going to keep this up. You know? The kind of game will win all over. Their defense is weird. It's the defense is not good.
Oh, wow. We went on up close to 294.
I'm very surprised.
They found a way to win 8 games. That's not any different than Kansas City last year, winning all those games by less than 7 points. You know, at the end of the day, they're getting it done. Do they look like a world beater? No. But do you have to be afraid of going against them in the playoffs? I think so.
Yeah.
You know.
So the most entertaining game of the day was the Lions and the Giants. It was Jameis time. And Jameis, whenever he starts, it's always very entertaining. He was 18 of 36 with 306 touches and 5 touchdown passes. Little side note here. I was filling out FanDuel lineups. Okay, for 100,000.
Move, motherfucker! I'm trying to get to my fucking house. Retard.
Winston Robinson hits. I was going to go with that stat, but I hadn't.
And that's it for me. See y'all tomorrow evening with the wrestling show. ACW Saturday Night Worldwide back to its normal time.
Higgins stack against the
Courtney, call me it.
That's next up.